Hey everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be going over something really pretty simple with a food dehydrator. We're going to be making dehydrated pineapple, so stick around. Alright everybody, thanks for tuning in. As I mentioned in the opening, we are going to be dehydrating pineapple today. Now, why are we doing this and why is this important? Why should you care? Well, we're going to be using a dehydrator because when we dehydrate things, fruit in particular, it lasts an awful lot longer than fresh fruit will. It's going to save you money, because you can do this at your home as opposed to buying the more expensive options at the grocery store. You're able to control your own diet and your food intake. And if I haven't already mentioned it, dehydrated pineapple really is amazing. You should give it a go, but let's check it out. All right, first thing we're gonna need to do is remove this top piece here. Did you guys know that if you peel this back some, and get rid of this section right here and you put it in a vase and you let it start to grow some, it'll grow some like tangly roots down at the bottom, you can grow your very own pineapple. I've tried it once. I was semi-successful, but I know of a lot of folks, a couple of folks from my previous life when I was living in a different city, who did that quite successfully, and I really kind of liked the look of how that top grows in a pot sitting in your backyard. I am going to try to cut around this, so you might need to pick out some of the bad spots, but cut those pieces off, and then we're going to start to trim. All these pieces here, we want to make sure that we get those, so we may have to go around a couple of times, but that's okay. Patience is a good thing. Because you really don't want to be eating those little rivets, divots, whatever these things are actually called. Even when you don't want it, you don't want to eat it when the pineapple's fresh, and you certainly don't want to eat it when it's dehydrated either. It just doesn't taste good. I should get most of that out. Now, let's take this section, because you really don't want that core either, so maybe it's easier to see on this side. Ooh, gotta get those yet. You really don't want this core in there. That really doesn't dehydrate very well either. It also doesn't taste very good when you just eat it plain. Let's see, we've got that out, and got most of that out. So I am going to quickly finish cleaning up and then do the same thing with the other one. That second one wasn't quite as ripe. It's a little bit more difficult. I had a lot more of those extra spots to get out. But again, so we're gonna wanna cut around this core. Now, at this point, we do kind of want to start to think about how can we get you know, our pieces are never going to be 100% equal in terms of size, but the closer that we can get the portions or the sizes to roughly a consistent size, that's going to be better in the dehydrating process. So like when I cut this out and then on my next one, I'm going to have another smaller piece like this. I can go ahead and put all of the smaller pieces on the same tray, and that'll just make it easier because those might not take quite as long to dehydrate. So then what we do here, again, go through it and check, because it's just easier now. But like these two right here, I might need to take out. But go through and check, and then just make sure that if you would eat it raw, then you're ready to go and put it in the dehydrator. Not too thick, but not too thin, and kind of as consistent in size as you can get it. Totally gonna eat a piece. It's pretty good. I do love the taste of pineapple. If I were to eat too many of these raw, like regularly, it would do a number on the inside of my mouth. But oddly enough, that doesn't happen when I dehydrate it. And it just becomes this dehydrated sweet treat. And you know, you can keep dehydrated foods, if you've dehydrated them properly, you can keep them in your pantry for up to several months. Like 4 to 12 months is kind of like the recommendation, but that seems like a really long time frame to me. But I have left dehydrated fruit that I like to sometimes put in my oatmeal in the mornings in the dehydrator for up to a month, and then it's time to do another batch. But good luck keeping this dehydrated pineapple in any sort of pantry for up to a month. You're going to want to eat it every day. You can see on this one, this very pronounced core, that's not going to dehydrate well, nor does that really eat well. So we're going to, again, steer clear of that inner core. I might not have done the best job on that slice. That's okay. Oh, that's kind of a big piece, big core down there, so that's okay. That ended up working out just fine. There's some core in that one, so we're going to get rid of that piece. And some of these aren't really in here; they're just kind of stuck on here because it's a little bit, you know, it's just a little bit wet. So that one kind of moves around. So that is not embedded in it. So that will, you know, that's not going to like dehydrate into it. Oh, there's another one that's just kind of sitting there. Kind of stuck because of some of the moisture. Well, that piece feels like it has a core in it too. It's okay. I'll get rid of that one. So if we can see here, we tried to match up sizes here as best we could. It's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. But see, these two are a little bit bigger, whereas these pieces are some of those inner closer to the core pieces. But it'll just make it a little bit easier during the dehydrating process. When the smaller pieces are done, you can simply pull those off. I just plugged it in. We have 5 stacks there. Now, how long does this go and at what temperature? I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but we'll try to zoom in here. So here on this particular dehydrator, it asks for fruits and vegetables to be around 135 degrees Fahrenheit, 57 Celsius. So that's where we have located it here. Now, how long really depends upon how big the pieces are that you cut. I'm probably going to guess that these are going to go at least 12 hours, because that was the last time I did this. That's how long it took. And that was about 5 trays as well. So we'll check back in throughout the way and see how we're doing. All right, we've been letting these go for just shy of 12 hours. We put them on between 6:30 and 7 o'clock last night. It's now 6:33 a.m. the following morning. They've been at this 135 degrees all night. Let's see if we can still unplug this here when it turns off. These are, honestly, these are about ready. I think the top two, oh, they were a little bit bigger. Set those aside. How are these doing? Let's see here. Kind of the consistency we're looking for here. They could probably go a little bit longer. Would be a little less pliable, but not much. But there's no more moisture in any of these, and that's what we would double check for, but you know they're done when there's not any moisture left. And they're just completely dry, and they're gonna be a little bit pliable. We're looking pretty good. Thanks for watching, everybody. For more fun videos, please hit that like and subscribe.